Hey guys, Omni here. Ever since the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer came out, I have not stopped thinking about it. And there's two things I wanted to kind of call out right out of the gate that I completely missed during the trailer was that, one, that was definitely Mechagodzilla in the opening 4 seconds of the trailer. And two, the axe that Kong's using definitely has what appears to be a spine or dorsal fin of either our Godzilla or a previous one. I'm leaning more towards a previous one because I have been tearing through this trailer, tearing through previous Godzilla lore and movies, as well as the ending credits of King of the Monsters, which had a lot of fun little snippets of the state of the world since the Titans have been resurfacing and going back into the wild and into their original terrains. There's a lot of fun stuff that I found through that and through picking through the trailer that I feel like I've got a couple strong ideas about what we can expect in this movie, how we can expect certain things to unfold, and I'm going to give you guys some of those theories and thoughts here today. One of them, obviously, we know for a fact that Mechagodzilla is in this, and we've got a couple things that I got to say about that, so I hope you stick around at least until then. So guys, where I want to start, what do we know from the end of King of the Monsters? We know that Titan Waste is being experimented with as a new energy source, likely leading to great advances in technology, like with the hovercraft we see in the trailer, aiding in Kong's little venture through the hollow Earth, as well as the technology that could eventually lead to the construction of Mechagodzilla himself. We know that Monarch has boosted their presence and their forces on Skull Island itself, and you actually read the article, there's a segment that says De La Rosa went on to claim that Monarch was not only developing this mechanized giant on Skull Island, but had already tried to create organic titans in the past. Finally, we know that Monarch has also begun to explore the hollow Earth beneath Skull Island, which is believed to be the origin of the Titans. Skull Island has been experiencing unusual seismic activity ever since Ghidorah Godzilla's alpha calls went out. Kong, unaffected, has been missing and presumed to be keeping those excited Titans that live below the surface at bay. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's move into the new information that we got from the trailer and just keep a lot of that stuff in the back of your mind while we're going through some of this stuff because we're going to be calling back to it. The first thing I wanted to start off with is that this opening sequence where we see Mechagodzilla bust out of this mountainside is that this is daytime Hong Kong. And if you fast forward to the end of this trailer where we see Godzilla and Kong facing off, that is also Hong Kong. So with that in mind, we have to assume that the confrontation on the carrier is either their second or their first encounter of these two giants. If it's the first and Kong is not on Skull Island, how do they get him back into the hollow Earth to retrieve his axe and find the clues left by his ancestors? I'm willing to bet that the carrier confrontation is the second confrontation between Kong and one of these Godzillas. And he just does not have his axe on hand, or it's on a different ship. I believe that either A, Kong and Monarch are exploring the hollow Earth together in the beginning, and that it gets interrupted by a random Godzilla attack on Skull Island, or B, the news of Godzilla's recent rampages provokes Monarch to seek out Kong, and in turn help Kong learn about his origins, history, and uncovering the acts of his ancestors. We know that Godzilla, as established in this universe, doesn't act aggressively towards humanity, so his spree of attacks appear to be out of character, as well as his framing as a villain in this trailer. The trailer also alludes that Godzilla must be being influenced by an outside force, or it's not actually Godzilla. A, it's Godzilla and they are using some sort of orca-like device to send him on these attacks or provoke him, or B, it's an imposter Godzilla perpetrating the attacks and Godzilla is merely following suit and taking the blame while hunting this false alpha, which leads to our Titan's battle of misunderstanding. If somebody is using an orca-like device to manipulate him into attacking these locations, these settings, these places, or if they are in fact using Mechagodzilla to impersonate Godzilla and frame him for these activities, what is the goal and who is behind it? The name Apex appears a lot, and if you actually check out the IMDb cast listings, there's quite a few listings for Apex Cybernetics. We see this board in the trailer which shows the locations of various Godzilla attacks, as well as locations of various Apex facilities. Also, there's a couple of headlines and makeshift notes on here that I wanted to call out as well. One of which says, Monarch can't seem to figure out Godzilla's motives. Is there a pattern to his attacks? Are Monarch and Apex collaborating? Must record attack claims, and then something unlegible. One headline reads, Monarch stumped. We see a separate note that says connection between Apex and Godzilla, question mark? What's next? Apex facility, government building, water facilities, and then another item that I could not make out. And if you didn't think that was Mechagodzilla in the opening 4 seconds of the film, or that he's even in this film, we have the schematics clear as day in this scene here. and such, there are a few bases from the original Godzilla films that can clue us into how this universe might provide some additional context as to how this mechanical monster might be created. We know that in the 2014 Godzilla film, there was a skeleton found which housed the two Muto eggs, which was that of a deceased Godzilla. In the Japanese films, one of the Mechagodzillas was actually constructed around the skeletal structure of a previous Godzilla to form the framework of their mechanical creation. Also, as mentioned before, there was the mention that Monarch had been experimenting with creating organic titans themselves, and if they wanted to create a machine they would want to pass off as the real deal, they could create a robot itself and house it within a synthetically generated skin to give it the appearance of the real Godzilla. Again, something that has been done in the previous Godzilla films. Another possibility is that we know that the group that Charles Dance worked for in the last film made off with one of the severed heads of Ghidorah. Ghidorah in the original films has also been mechanized, which, after being defeated again, was recycled into the next incarnation of Mechagodzilla, which, if that is used as a component of this Mechagodzilla, could allow it to emit Ghidorah's alpha wave to mess with Godzilla and control the non-alpha titans. Like I mentioned earlier, the opening 4 seconds we see what looks like to be morning light on the mountainside of Hong Kong, which erupts in an explosion that reveals the creature we see at the start of the trailer. Looking ahead, we see the Godzilla and Kong have been going at it in this very city, but at nighttime. I will be willing to bet that the opening scene and this final fight of the trailer takes place in the same day, with the fight between Kong and Godzilla raging throughout the night, and just as the two are waning on each other and in their weakening states, that's when Mechagodzilla is going to strike to take out the weakened titans. Also, something I noticed while putting this together, the axe that Kong wields emits a red glow from the handle and a blue one from the Godzilla spine. Could this red material be used in the construction of Mechagodzilla, since we see the same colored glow coming from its neck and underbelly in the opening shot? And looking back at this scene of Godzilla attacking the carrier, we see what appears to be red fire or energy venting from his skin prior to being hit with these missiles. That's not Godzilla, is it? Who knows? Given all of this, what would be the goal? Destroying all the titans, destroying the only two alphas on the planet, and controlling what's left? Who knows? We could even see a third party take control, like with the Mechagodzilla made out of the skeleton of a fallen Godzilla. The spirit of that Godzilla could sometimes override the AI controlling machine and would live again in this mechanical suit. What if that machine is hijacked by Ghidorah's hunger for revenge? We'll see. Anyway, guys, I know that was a lot to take in. That was a lot to say. That was a lot to put together, and who knows? It could all be BS. But these are just the pathways my mind went down. I've been digging through this stuff all day. This has been something I've just been drilled into and zoned into all afternoon. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts on everything that I've mentioned in this video. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anything you have questions about? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys like this video, make sure to support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody.